Hello students, I hope you all are fine at your home. Today I am going to start this last module or this last lecture about this chapter, man-made disaster and natural disasters. Already we have covered two lectures. This is last one. In this lecture we are talking about disaster management in India. Generally, we have already discussed about the different types of disaster like earthquake, flood, landslide, cyclones, and we already discussed also so many people are killed by this tremendous problem. Ecosystem is disturbed, the loss of property, loss of life, loss of the houses. So many things we have already discussed about it. But after this disaster or before this disaster, what action should be taken? So for it, there is a management system. This is called the disaster management, and especially we are talking about for India. So this is the disaster management in India. This disaster management is basically for the emergency response. It means if any emergency, if any flood, earthquake, any action is happened or before the action, so this disaster management take an emergency respond for what? Basically for the prevention and for the mitigation of this natural disaster. And it also help to reduce the risk and impact of the disaster. This is the main work of this natural disaster or the disaster management of India. This disaster management is not an individual work. It is a teamwork and it is a cooperation work. Yeah, it includes all the society persons, maybe a individual person till the government. It means a single person can also help, and even the main role it is of the government we know very well, because in India the most of the things we are dependent on the government. But it does not mean only government is the part of it. From individual to the government, just remember about it. So for it there is some certain point by which we can understand it. It is a common objectives during any disaster. Sorry, common objectives during any disaster. What are the objectives? So first of all, we know about the different types of calamities already discussed: earthquake, floods, sorry, earthquake, flood, landslide, cyclones, and it is the loss of property, life, and homes. So basically, what will happen? The main thing it is the immediate action should be taken. These are the objectives. What are the objectives? Take a immediate action for it. What action should be taken? It is very easy. First of all, we're talking about the safe shelter. Safe shelter, it means what? As the peoples are affected by these calamities, so should people should be provide a safe shelter. Generally you also seen in the movies or in a news channel also, if the flood is there, so peoples are taken from the affected area to the away from it, in any school, in government buildings, like that. So this is the safe shelter, moving the injured or affected people from affected area to the safe shelter. So remember about first point, safe shelter. Second one, it is the immediate first. Second one is the immediate first aid service. First aid service, we can say that if any person is having any injury, so first aid should be provided. This is the second thing. Third one, it is about the food and drinking water, because people's lost their houses, peoples are not having their homes, they lost their houses, maybe in earthquake, floods, any problem, and they are not having even the drinking water. So food and drinking water, these two basic needs are very important. So at the time of calamities, in the shelters where they are safely kept, in that area they have to provide a food and safe drinking water. Food and safe drinking water, this is third point. Third one, then after fourth point, it is the searching means what? Just like in earthquake, a building is collapsed, so, or maybe the floods, so the team is going for searching by the helicopters, by the individual, by the different vehicles. What if any person it is in danger, or if there are chances we can save? So this is the searching. Next one is the searching for what? For the rescuing the injured person. If any person is buried, if especially the earthquake, I already told, earthquake and the landslides. Basically in the landslides people are buried, that's why. So this one, and the last one, after these all incidences, there are two important things. It is the financially help and transportation help. Financially help for what? For the rehabilitation of their homes, their if their home is available, so for purchasing the items, for, so it is a financial help. And another one is transportation, again they want to go their place, so it is a transportation help. So this type of help is provided for the rehabilitation and the recovery of the people from the affected of disaster. So these all are the objectives of it. Next one, it is the role of government. So what is the role of government? Basically this problem is mainly affected for the poor peoples, or those that are having the lower category, lower middle class. Lower middle class means those, their income is very low. Okay, so these two types of peoples are affected very badly, and for it, so for it the government is taking initiatives. And because of it, earlier it was not like that, but after the UNDP, it is the UN's part. Yeah, you know well about the United Nations. In it, there is also one branch. It is the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, for the development of the any country. This is a separate branch. It is the United Nations Development Program. In by this, in 2002 and 2007, in between 2002 2007, it orders, or it prescribed that there should be a management program. It is called the Disaster Risk Management Program. Disaster Risk Management Program. So after that, these type of initiatives are taken by the government, and they are also preparing for the counter adverse effect of the disaster. They also provide a special training for what? Those, they are just like, there are some, there is a special what can I say, NDRF. Have you heard about the NDRF? National Disaster Relief Force. This is National Disaster Relief Force. In it they should provide a training, a proper special training for what? If any calamities is happen, so these, just like a army, this just like a police, same like there is a NDRF team is also there. There is a separate department. So with the help of NDRF, they are, first of all they are provided the special training, and after that, if any calamities, they will go for the helping the peoples. For how? Just like training of engineering, training of architecture, mason, this also be provided. For what? If just like mason, so if a building is properly construct, so there are less chances of the collapsing. So that's why it is also important that. And also their role is also that they have to given a core education, facility for the what about the disaster. Just like, that's why we are talking about in your this chapter, why this disaster management is given, because it is the prescribed form by this. The basic knowledge of this disaster should be given to students, so that's why they can also know what is the role of government, what is your role, how can you prevent yourself. So this is all about the initiatives by taken. Therefore, there is also national disaster management. There is a special disaster management. It is the national disaster management. I hope you can understand what I'm talking about. Then last third one, it is the role of remote sensing satellite. What is this remote sensing? Remote sensing satellite, it means the, with the help of satellites. What is the role of satellites? You know about, there are two types of satellites, natural satellites and the artificial satellites. So now I'm talking about the artificial satellites. So around the, just like earth, around the earth there are some satellites are always revolving. What their function? Different satellites are having a different function. So we are talking about the remote sensing. So those that taken picture of the place, so they are giving properly information time to time, and they are also giving the aerial photographs mean from the air they are taking the photographs. So by these pictures, by this, and they are also gathering the information of the electromagnetic energy information. They are gathering all the informations, because they are getting all the weather information, means what action is going on the earth. Okay, so these satellites are playing very important role for the gathering information and informing back to the system. Okay, by this information system, these the scientists can get the knowledge or the can get the information about what type of calamities can happen and what already happened. So both the before the calamities or after the calamities, both the things they can easily checked. How they can monitor sorry, they can monitor what they can monitor. They can monitor the keeping track of the flood. They are alerting coastal guards, just like if a tsunami is coming, so they can before that, because from the satellites they can see the image that tsunami is arising. So before it, on the center they can give information. The center will give information to the coastal guards. They will evacuate the people from that area. So this is by the communication facility. Okay, by the communication it can save the people, detecting the burning fires, if any jungle, if any forest that caught the fire, so they can also give information about it. So this is all about the satellites facility. Basically this is all about the technology. We can say that the remote sensing satellites are based on the technology. How that? So first of all, they are doing work of check. What they are checking? They are unplanned deforestation. They can check unplanned deforestation, and they can also give some suggestion for the prevention. Also for the desertification you already studied about, means that the area which are transformed from vegetation to the desert. Okay, it is called the desertification. Overgrazing, felling of trees, water logging. So these all information they are also gathering and sending to the centers. Okay, and then also identified, they also identify, checking also their identification also happen of the degradation lanes. It also give time to time a different detection problem about the floods, about the flood prone areas, about what, by the help of using satellite data. Okay, about this satellite data they are gathering information and they are sending to the centers. Okay, the NDRA centers, and they are spreading the information on the peoples or by different means. Okay, so this is all about the sensing work. Okay, remote sensing, just like remotely we are controlling the TV, the different gadgets, same like that. By remotely from the satellites, the different actions happen on the earth, it is giving some information about it, same like that. So this is all about the chapter. And finally last we can say that why there is required. So before the any problem, the it is the responsibility of people, we have to awake. If we awake, so there are not such conditions can happen. Okay, the chances of these types of disaster are very less. Okay, so we have to aware, we have to see our about our degradation, our degradation of the environment, what the changing in our environment, climate. So we have to aware about it and we have to take some initiatives so it will not happen in future. This is in our hand. Okay, so finally we have completed our course of first term. Thank you so much. Next time we will meet with a new chapter. Thank you. Goodbye.